If you're a swimmer who's been trying to learn how to tumble turn or flip turn, this is the video for you. Yes, it's a complex skill, but with the right cues and the right amount of training, you can learn how to tumble turn effectively. Let's break the skill down into 4 key aspects. First is the approach to the wall. 2 is the flip. 3 is landing. And 4th and finally is the takeoff. Getting each one of these aspects correct can help you to get in and out of the wall with minimal effort and enough air. So let's go through aspect number 1, and that is the approach. During the approach, speed is king. When you're learning a skill, it can be quite difficult to add speed because you might be nervous about hitting the heels on the wall or getting the movement incorrect. If you come into the wall quite slow, it makes it more difficult to perform the flip. That means it takes you longer, you have to hold your breath, and you're more likely to lose all your air and get water up your nose. So first and foremost, speed is king. To get this right, there are 2 key things to focus on. First is your final push. So the last stroke you take is really important. You should feel your body glide forward. The second is streamline. Your arms should be glued to your side so you're long and lean. If you press and hold that streamlined position, you've got the right speed to be able to perform a flip. So remember, speed is king. The second phase is all about the flip. This is where you actually perform the turn. Now, I've actually changed my mindset a little bit on this. I used to teach people to tuck as small as they can into a little ball. Now, while this is useful for learning how to perform an actual flip, when we do the tumble turn, it is more of an open shape. As you turn, you want to tuck the chin and crunch the ribs down to your hips, and then the legs come over slightly more open than a tight cannonball. You are aiming to land your feet kind of on your back butt side. Imagine a 10 past 2 on the clock face, so that you're ready to push off quickly. So remember, the flip is led with your head and your abs. You bring the chin to chest and ribs to hips. If you don't use your chin and your ribs and you keep your chin up, it slows the movement down. You're going to get water shooting up your nose and it's not going to be fun. So that second key point, all about the flip, you lead with your chin and your abs. The third phase is all about your landing. So that's where you end up on the wall after you've performed the flip. Ideally, the feet are actually slightly to the side. You might see some people flip directly on their back, and that's absolutely fine, but it will make the turn slightly more challenging after you leave the wall. You want to land with your feet underwater, kind of over the T shape on the end of the wall. That's important because if you flip and the feet land high, your body is going to go down. Alternatively, if you flip really tight and the feet land low, you're going to push straight up to the surface. So during the phase of the landing, your goal is simple. Land the feet slightly to the side in a squat position. That's it. Your final phase is all about the takeoff. The wall is lava. Okay, you do not want to spend much time there. A, slows the whole movement down, you lose your air, but secondly, it means that your position is much quicker off the wall. So during the takeoff, your feet land on the side, you push off immediately. It is not until your feet leave the wall that you twist from your side onto your front. If you twist onto your front while your feet are planted on the wall, it slows you down and it's really ineffective. So the key to that takeoff, the wall is lava. Get in and get out. Don't wait on the wall. The second important aspect of the takeoff is that you learn to be streamlined. Your goal when you're first learning how to tumble turn is not about trying to get your dolphin kicks in. I want you to learn how to tumble turn and glide to the flags in a streamlined position straight over that black line. So there's a lot to that because you need to be able to land on the wall in the right place, but also glide straight and strong in your streamline, aiming to surface without taking any dolphin kicks at about the flags. The full tumble turn. This is where you perform an entire flip turn and you add some dolphin kicks. Now, if you've ever watched really good athletes perform their sport and wondered why it looks so easy, it's because they know where to add propulsion and they know where to add power. The same goes for a tumble turn. Remember, you don't rush this process. You want to have a micro glide going into the wall. You don't want to be pulling the arm and turning at the same time. Do that power push and feel a tiny glide before you flip. After you push off the wall, there's also a micro glide. Don't begin to kick straight away. The fastest point of a race is off a dive and off a turn. If you begin kicking straight away, you break that streamline position and you don't get quite as much power. After you push off the wall, hold for 1000 in your head before you take that first dolphin kick. So you flip, push off, hold 1000, begin the dolphin kick. Now, how many dolphin kicks you take is going to be so personal. I only take 2 off the wall because I find any more and I get breathless, and I'm also not super strong at my dolphin kick. My goal is to hit the wall with as much power as I can and drive off with strong legs, kick, and I'm into my swimming. The other key things to focus on in the full tumble turn is a small dip under the water as you approach the wall. So you take that big strong breath, you're into your streamlined needle position. The head and the shoulders can start to dip slightly underwater to help improve the speed of your flip. So there's 3 key things to focus on as you start to refine your full tumble turn. First, remember those micro glides. You want to make sure that last arm press, that last arm pull is really powerful. So micro glide before you flip. Second, begin the dip so you can get your head and your shoulders underwater slightly before the flip occurs. And finally, micro pause before the dolphin kick. When you push off the wall, squeeze your bum tight, big toes together. If you can become a needle for half a second before you start the dolphin kick, you're going to be so efficient. So in summary, your goal with a full tumble turn. The number of dolphin kicks you take is unique to you, but I want you to be fast and efficient, no wasted time on the wall. Get in, get out. Let's talk about some of the common mistakes with tumble turns. The first is lifting the head before the tumble turn. As soon as your eyes lift, you increase frontal drag and you slow your body down. When you lift, it also makes it harder to perform a flip because the body opens up. Your first thing to focus on is where you look as you perform your tumble turn. Remember, we need lots of air so that we can trickle air out our nose and water doesn't shoot up during the flip, which means you need a good breath right before the wall. Make sure that you roll to breathe to the side and not to the front before your tumble turn. Eyes to the side, big breath before you tumble turn. So number 1, your eyes matter. Remember, we're looking where the wall meets the floor and not directly ahead. Looking up is slow and we want to be fast. The second common mistake is the arms. Now it's natural to kind of bring the arms out to help with that movement, but you want to imagine that you're tumble turning inside a tunnel. As soon as the arms come out, you increase drag and it makes the movement slower. Your goal is long and light. Your arms stay long and light behind you. To do this, you need to initiate that tumble from the head and the abs. The chin tucks and the core crunches down. Imagine your ribs coming to your hips. Learning to tumble turn without the arms coming out is really important because it will make the movement a lot more efficient. So remember, no more windmill arms. Long and light, arms behind, not out to the side. The third most common mistake I see is time on the wall. Now when we do our tumble turn, our goal is to go in and out. The wall is lava. You don't want to keep your feet on that hot plate. So when you tumble turn, a lot of people will flip on the back. They will twist while their feet are on the wall to be on their front and then push off. If you flip onto your back and turn onto your front while you're still on the wall, it slows the whole movement down. It also changes your body position, so often you'll sink down and you'll lose a lot of air and make yourself a lot more tired. You actually push off slightly on your back. So when you perform the flip, the feet land just off center, and that allows you to push off and twist onto the front after your feet have left the wall. So just remember, the wall is lava. You hit and you leave. You don't spend time twisting onto the front while you're on the wall. You use your abs to twist yourself from your back onto your front. Now I hope that helps. Remember, number 1, your eyes matter. Eyes down, not at the wall. Number 2, your arms matter. We don't want them out the side. Tumble turn in a tunnel, arms long and light behind. And finally, in and out. You're not going to twist on the wall to perform your tumble turn. You flip, you push off the wall and twist onto your front after your feet leave the wall. Now I know this is a hard skill to acquire, but practice will help. Break it down, focus on one thing at a time, and you will get there.